Hello, my soul tribe. Thank you so much for joining this quick video session with me. This is Letao, your astrologist and your spiritual counselor. As you have seen, today we're going to do a pick a card reading titled A Magical Trip That Is Going to Elevate Your Life or a Move That Is Going to Change Your Life. I know that, in this modern days time, many of us are very well traveled. Maybe a lot of you guys who are watching this video have lived in different countries, different cities, and maybe you have traveled around the world. And I don't know if you ever had this feeling that sometimes a simple trip overseas or a decision to move to a different place could significantly alter your perspective, your view about your own life, your sense of the world, your sense of people, right? And also through the trip, you might discover a brand new part of yourself. So today, I want to focus on a future trip that you will make. This could be just simply about a trip you might go, you might spend several days or maybe a week or two there, or this could be about maybe a major move that you will be doing, maybe to a different city or even a different country, and that's going to shape a completely different chapter for you in an amazing and a positive way. All right. Now, at the very beginning of this video, you have seen these three different options I have provided for you. We've got option one, which is a big ship, right, on the ocean. The option two is hot balloons, right, floating in the sky. And the third option is a train, right, traveling in the greenery, right, in the mountains. And all these three pictures are related to vehicles, right? And the means of travel. So you can meditate on these three options and see which one that you resonate the most with at this period of time. And you can also go directly to the timestamp and to watch your video. All right, with all that being said, I look forward to seeing you in your pile. Hello, pile number one. Thank you so much for watching this video. You have chosen this option, right? A big ferry, big ship traveling across the ocean. So if you are resonating your energy with this pile, this is reading for you about this magical trip that you're going to make. Now, first of all, I'm going to pull actually three cards from just to look at the location, right? Now, it does not mean that you have to go to all these three locations or you have to go be able to resonate with all of them. Now, at least one of them is going to play a very important role for you. So first of all, let's have a look at where you're going to travel to, right? What's the direction or what's the feeling of this specific place that could be important to you? First of all, the first card we're pulling out, Machu Picchu. Okay, so this has a lot to do with Central America. Now, first of all, pile number one, if you are actually thinking about going to Machu Picchu or Central America, this could be very significant. And one of the things that I'm also seeing through this card is that there's something that is very spiritual about this energy. Okay, now Machu Picchu energy is not just about, okay, I'm going there to get drunk and and have fun, go to nightclubs. This energy has a lot to do with your spiritual awakening, understanding about the self, right? There's some sense of spiritual energy very, very prominent in this trip. Now, of course, if you are thinking about going to Central America or maybe even a little bit South America, right, that area, because you feel like there's something very spiritual and very energetically pulling you towards, maybe there's an amazing ancient site that you want to see, right? This is definitely something that I would highly recommend. So I definitely see you going on a trip, something a little bit spiritual to either Machu Picchu or Central America area. Okay, this is the first card for you. Secondly, let's pull, all right, let's have a look at this one. Tibet and nearby. Okay, so this card has a lot to do with Tibetan area. However, what I'm actually seeing in this card is it doesn't have to be about Tibet. Of course, if you are interested in Tibetan culture, Tibetan Buddhism, right? You like, Buddhist chanting, right? Or singing bowls, this place could be important to you. But what I'm also seeing in these two areas is that you're going somewhere that has a lot of mountains. It's almost like you're gonna climb up and there's something up there that is for you. So for pile number one, it's very interesting because both Machu Picchu and the second card, Tibet and nearby, you can see on the picture, there's some kind of like altitude there, right? Maybe it's somewhere on the mountains or somewhere that you need to do a little bit mountain climbing. And this looks, again, something related to religion or spirituality that I'm seeing actually is very important. Both these two locations have nothing to do with parties or getting drunk or, that kind of like nightlife, right? Both of them carry a significant spiritual meanings in them. So I do feel that for pile number one, there is something related to your spiritual awakening again. All right. Now, final card, let's have a look for pile number one. And the card we have got is it's called a Matterhorn. Okay, again, this area has a lot to do with mountains. It's very, very funny. I think that for a lot of people who are choosing pile number one, there's definitely something related to big mountains for you. I mean, just to let you know, right? All the cards are presented in front of me facing down, and I'm literally not really, I don't really know, where I'm putting, but I'm just trying to change your energy. You got mountains, and mountains. Now, like what I mentioned earlier, maybe there's something related to high altitude, right? Or height that is, important to you. Climbing a mountain, climbing somewhere, or maybe I'm also seeing a lot of clouds there. So it's a little bit like you are climbing through the clouds, right? Up to somewhere. And there is some kind of important realization that you're going to have, right, in you. Perhaps certain confusions will be dispersed, right? If you have always been feeling some kind of intuition about something and you just don't really know what that was about, or you have a difficult time to accept that. Let's put it this way. This energy could be very, very important to you. This could be about you going somewhere. Maybe it's a temple or a beautiful shrine, right? Or an ancient ruins on the top of the mountains. And when you get there, suddenly you have this realization about what directions you need to take and who you truly are. All right. Very interesting energy. Now we're going to pull one card, okay, from Oracle of the Celestial Deities. Let's have a look at what is your energy? All right, Vesta jumped out by itself. All right, again, Vesta is about cleansing, it's about healing. This energy has a lot to do with you, kind of like, going really inward within yourself and ask yourself what I want, what I need, and who I am. See, on the card of Vesta, she is not looking. She's having her eyes closed and she's really focusing on being who she is. She is a goddess of home and hearth. So as an analogy, right? It's a little bit like she is going back to herself, right? Going back to her authentic core. I think pile number one, a lot of you guys maybe have been seeking who you are. And you have gone through a very tumultuous period of time in the recent past, maybe during the past year or 2 years. And on the surface, it's about, okay, how you dealt with that situation, how you overcame that situation. But what I'm seeing here with the Machu Picchu, the Tibet, the mountains, right, and the Matterhorn, the pictures, and with the Vesta energy, I really feel that deep down it's about who you are. I really feel that this is about maybe certain things collapsed or certain things didn't work out for us. And it's a little bit like on the surface, it was a disaster, but deep down, it was a necessary path for you to experience. And in order for you to reach the next stage of your life, in order for you to reach the authentic version of yourself. All right. Now, I'm going to pull another card, all right, from same deck. Let's see, you are Vesta. What about the environment around you when you are going on this trip? Now, this environment card could be about someone, okay, that you're going there with, or this could be about someone's energy that you feel, or maybe just even about the city or about the natural environment that you're in. How is it actually working with you or working against you? Okay. The next card, we got Pan. Again, this is the god of mountains. My beautiful pile number one. There's so much mountain energy in here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I've never seen a reading like that. Mountain, 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 and then you center yourself. I really feel like mountain could be very fortunate for you, right? When you're walking to the mountains and when you're listening to the sounds of the nature, and when you're listening to the sound of the trees and the sounds of the birds, and this could actually give you that very, very deep a sense of and understanding, okay, about this trip. I love this so much. I highly recommend my pal number one to go on this. Either it's a nature's retreat or this could be about some kind of spiritual retreat that you will go. One thing, again, I'm going to emphasize, this is not a trip where you go for night clubbing, to meet, dating, Tinder date, right? Matching with guys and girls and having sexy dates and then getting drunk, right? That kind of party. No, this is something that is very, very much about who you are, looking for, seeking the authentic self in this beautiful nature. And it's very possible that there will be some kind of mountain climbing things related to that as well. Or maybe the city or the country you go to, naturally they have highlands right in there. Okay, beautiful energy. Now, we're gonna pull one major arcana and also one oracle card, okay, from a different oracle deck. And let's just see, okay, what other things about this trip, right, that could be beneficial for you and that you might need to know before you go on this trip. First card from our major arcana, right? Beautiful. All right, one card. Wheel of Fortune. Wow. This is a card of fate, my beautiful palm number one. This is your fate. This is something that will absolutely happen for you. The Wheel of Fortune could be saying that maybe there will be some synchronicities happening surrounding this trip. This could be about maybe something that you didn't even plan, or maybe you have a very specific plan about where you want to go, how you want to do it, at what time you want to do what, but the trip will actually eventually it will pan out in a very different way. But in hindsight, you realize that wow, that was beautiful. All right, I love this energy that with the Wheel of Fortune. Literally, I mean, in tarot studies, right? When we look at this card is also to deal with the travel, right? Because the Wheel of Fortune almost like a wheel, right? It's turning, right, and it's moving. So again, very strong. This kind of like travel energy. I would highly suspect that, to be honest, my pal number one, maybe you already have some trips you've been thinking about for a long time, right? Could literally about Machu Picchu, to be honest, or somewhere, like what I said, with this very significant spiritual meaning, right, in this trip. Now let's get one card, all right, from the Wisdom's Oracle. Okay, let's just get one card. What else is about this Wheel of Fortune? Thank you, universe. And we got Between Worlds transition. My pile number one, this combination, okay, is talking about the fate will bring you to this place. And then you're going to realize that through this trip, you're going through a very significant transformation from one stage of your life to another stage of your life. Now, when I say different stages, this could be about you could have complete different identity about who you are. You might think that, okay, for the past 20, 30, 40 years, I was this type of man or woman, right? I believed in this and that's what I wanted, or at least that's what I think I wanted. But moving forward through this trip, I realized that actually I'm having a complete 180-degree opposite vision now about what life is really about, what my happiness is really about, and who I am really. Um, what kind of guy am I really, or what kind of woman I really am? That kind of energy, very, very interesting. This in between worlds, I'm also seeing this. You can see on the card, the flamingo, half of his body is in the black and white, but the flamingo is walking towards this colorful world, right? That I think this colorful world is really representing our authentic self. Maybe I'm not expressing myself the best way today, but I think that you can sense this energy from this reading, Mapao number one. There is a major transformation happening for you in the near future. Either you're going to take this trip this year, or perhaps maybe early next year. I'm not really sure because usually card reading will be talking about things in the near future. So I don't think this is about something that will be in 10 years time. But let me put it this way for you: when you have this awakening about what kind of trip you want to go on, and especially if you've been feeling energetically pulled towards that place and you feel like you just need to go through it, you have my blessings, and you are very much encouraged by me, right, to go on this sacred trip to find who you are. Beautiful. Oh, I get a little bit touched by this reading actually, and I'm really happy for you guys. Thank you so much, my pawn number one, and I hope this reading resonated with you in some way. Remember, if you like the reading, subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it with the people you care about. And I'll see you very soon in the next reading. Bye. Thank you so much for joining this reading session, pile number two. This is the picture you have picked. You see some beautiful hot balloons, right, floating in the sky. Personally, I always associate this place with Turkey, right? I don't know if you guys know that there's a beautiful city in Turkey where you can get on hot balloons, and a lot of people, propose to their partners, right, weddings and things like that. But doesn't matter actually, right? I'm not saying that you need to go to Turkey, but somehow this is the energy that I tend to associate this picture with. If you like this picture, then this could be the reading for you. First of all, let's pull three cards, right? And let's have a look at the direction energy, right? What countries or what direction you need to travel to that could be significant for you in the near future. First of all, we're going to pull one card, okay? Oh, wow, we got Taj Mahal. This is India, okay? India or somewhere that could be dealing with South Asia, right? When I say South Asia, this could be about India, this could be about maybe Sri Lanka, this could be about Pakistan, right? Or maybe even a little bit Southeast Asia as well, could be Myanmar or even Thailand, okay? So wow, beautiful energy, Taj Mahal, very good. Okay, there's something also related to royalty. Okay, or maybe something related to deal with royal families here, because this is the palace of the king, right? In the ancient days, for Indian people. Now, second energy, let's have a look at this is South Africa. Wow, we see penguins. Very interesting. Now, South Africa, this is a completely different direction. Okay. Now, this could be about maybe you wanted to travel to South Africa in the future, or there could be some maybe even cultural heritage, right? That you feel you are associated with, you want to feel related to. Also, I'm seeing penguin in there. Yeah, now, of course, penguin, they live in the South Pole, right? But of course, this also could be about cities and countries where there are penguins, right? Or you can easily find, or maybe they're famous for penguins, or maybe you can go there to see penguins. Very interesting. Now, we also get this very kind of like, opposing energy here because Taj Mahal, India is extremely hot, is near the equator. But then the South Africa, right, where penguin is more towards the two poles, right? Of course, South Africa is not that cold, but it's on the southern tip of African continent. And also we see a penguin literally on the card. And so this could be about somewhere you go that is extremely cold, or this could be a place you go that is famous for its humidity and hot weather. Okay, so there's something on the extremes, right? On the earth. One more card, right? Thank you, universe. So we have Maui. Wow, interesting. This energy looks like Maui. Okay, so this reminds me of something like New Zealand or maybe even Easter Island. Okay, it's very interesting because what I'm seeing here is that you're actually traveling to this place that is not a very common tourist destination. I don't know if you know what I mean. Yeah. Sometimes, we all know the so-called popular destinations, right? For example, when you go to Europe, of course, you go to Paris, right? You go to Rome. And when you're traveling in Asia, of course, you go to, I don't know, right? You go to Shanghai, or you go to Tokyo, or you go to Hong Kong, right? All these three cards give me this feeling that there's something that you will do or this trip that you will make is not one of those major destinations. It's a little bit like it's kind of like unique. It's kind of like not, it's almost like I can feel that you tell people you're going to visit this place. They're like, really? Like, why? Like, that's kind of random, right? That's kind of, I've never heard of anyone going there. Really? But also that's a far away, right? Also, by the way, South Africa, Maui, and all these areas are kind of like on the edge of something. Like what I mentioned, South Africa is on the edge of the African continent, right? The southern tip. And Maui is literally in the middle of nowhere, actually, in the Pacific. And so I definitely feel this energy that you're traveling to somewhere that is really far away from where you are now. So this is not about like 1 hour, 2 hours flight, right? Bang, you are there, and that's your trip. This is something that is almost gives me this feeling like a pilgrimage that you will make. Beautiful. All right, very nice. Now, let's pull uh, two cards, right, from Oracle of the Celestial Deities. Let's have a look at while you are making this trip, what's the energy of yourself or what you will be seeking through that trip. And also let's have a look at the energy around you. All right. This could be about the energy of the city, of the place, right? The general feeling of your surrounding. Or if you're traveling with someone, or if you're traveling there to see someone, this could also be about the energy of that companion. Okay. Thank you so much, universe. Right. Let's get two cards for pile number two. Thank you. Right. First card, Atlanta. Oh, this card already tells me that probably you will travel there either alone or maybe just with a very small number of people. This is definitely not like a huge crowd trip, right? It's not like that. It's also probably not a trip that you will make with your boyfriend, girlfriend, honeymoon. Atlanta energy is very much about your individuality. It's about who you are, right? It's about I want to do this for me because this is important to me, rather than you're doing this for a partner, for a boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Or for love. This is well, it could be for love, but that would be for self-love, if you know what I mean. Okay. Atlanta energy is also showing that there's a sense of mission in there. So it seems like you're going there not just to for the sake of travel, right? See something new. Atlanta is almost like maybe there's a sense of healing there. Maybe this could be about some childhood or some, in the old days, maybe you experienced something very traumatic. And Atlanta is a little bit like I want to find my sense of healing and I want to find my inner strength through this trip. What's the environment around you? We got Vulcan. Okay. Very interesting because Vulcan energy usually is also talking about somewhere that could be how do I describe it? There could be some volcanoes there. Okay, that's very interesting. Not that kind of mountains that, like in part number one, I mentioned, I'm seeing a lot of mountains. But this place that you're gonna go to for part number two, I'm not seeing just mountains, I'm seeing volcano. So literally, maybe this place is famous for volcano, right? For example, literally Maui, New Zealand, and also, Easter Island, those places, they're filled with volcanoes actually. So I'm definitely seeing some of the guys heading towards that direction. The Vulcan is actually the god of fire, the god of volcano. So I'm definitely seeing some kind of fire, kind of like maybe when you literally visit a place, right? And the tourist guide, or maybe something written in a guidebook would tell you that, oh, there was a volcano eruption maybe 2,000 years ago, or whatever that is, right? It's very interesting energy, actually. Vulcan is also, together with Atlanta, is very much about healing. I'm also thinking that maybe this has something to do with your childhood. Maybe you have visited this place when you were a little child, or maybe this place will really help you to heal some unresolved problems or trauma in your mind or memories, right? From your childhood or when you were a little child. It's also kind of like interesting. If you are, let's say, maybe you're born in the city and then you moved away, you lived all your life, maybe overseas or in other places, this could also be a trip. It's a little bit like you're finding your heritage again. It does not mean that you will move back to eventually where you were born necessarily, but it does mean that there's some kind of roots there for you to reconnect. And then this will also help you to move forward with your life. Okay, very good. Now, let's pull one card from our major arcana, okay? And let's see what other things is there, right, for our beautiful pile number two, okay? One card, thank you, universe. The Temperance. This is what I mean by healing, okay? Pile number two. There's a significant energy of healing and coming to terms with what happened to you, okay, in the past and how you would like to see this experience again, but without regurgitating the pain. The Temperance card has a lot to do with healing, actually. And again, this Temperance card specifically is kind of like, reddish color with a Vulcan. Again, I'm seeing some kind of a red color in the place where you're moving to. Maybe this could literally be about, volcanoes, right? Or this could be about some kind of, I don't know, it's almost like either you're watching sunrise or sunset there, right? And if the sky is just purely red, right? And you get a lot of, weird energy. They're watching this view and you suddenly realize that, well, maybe this is the time for me to welcome my own sunrise or also to welcome my own sunset. All right. So this is a very, very interesting energy. I do feel there's something very emotional about this as well. All right. One last card, right, from the Wisdom Oracle, right, for our pile number 2. All right, healing balance. Okay, what else is there? Thank you. Oh, here, never ending story. Yeah, absolutely. This card with the Temperance card is about finding your confidence again, find your true identity again. Like what I said, yeah, maybe this is about some kind of early childhood trauma or some kind of wound that you suffered from pile number 2. And I do feel that for a lot of the people watching this video, I just suddenly get that message. Yeah. If you ever are considering whether you should live in a place where you are far away from your family or far away from your childhood, things like that, the answer is absolutely yes. I'm actually seeing this energy. It's almost like, well, you are leaving your immediate environment where your family, where you grew up, in where you went to high school, middle school, things like that. When you're leaving that environment, suddenly you find your authentic self. Suddenly you gain confidence, and suddenly you are no longer being reminded every day what happened, what trauma that you experienced in the past. And so for this group, I would highly, highly recommend that you travel far. And if you're thinking about relocation, this is also 100% yes for you. It's not just about, okay, but what's the treasure in this new place for me? But it's more about you can start refresh and you can really see your life and just kind of like start clean, and without keep, going back and being drawn back to whatever made you feel you're anything less than who you actually are. Thank you so much, my pal number 2. This is a reading for you, and I hope this resonated with you in some way. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it with the people you care about. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys in the next reading session. See you next time. Hello, group number 3. Thank you so much for joining this reading. You have chosen this picture. We're seeing a train traveling in the greenery and into the mountains. If you somehow resonated with this energy, this could be the reading for you. First of all, let's get 3 cards from an oracle deck that I have made by myself. Let's have a look at the direction or maybe the energy of the country or the city that you could be either traveling to very soon or moving to very soon. That could play a very important role in your life. Okay. Now, first of all, we're going to get 1 card. We're seeing Burj Al Arab. Okay, so this card has a lot to do with Dubai. Okay, this is a very famous, expensive hotel in Dubai. Okay, so we're seeing Middle East. Okay, that's good. And then we're seeing Statue of Liberty. Beautiful. Now this is New York. All right, so first of all, before we put the 3rd card, these 2 cards already tell me a very important message. The place or the trip that you're going to go on has something to do with big cities. Okay, this is not some kind of mountain trip, nature retreat, right? Rivers, creeks, right? That kind of stuff. This has a lot to do with big city vibe, right? So I'm seeing maybe there's a lot of money in the city. Maybe there's commerce, there's trading, right? There's finance, right? Hustling, bustling. New York is like that. And at the same time, we're seeing Dubai. See, my perspective, energy, right? My understanding about Dubai is it's just filled with gold and money and trade. And so this is already telling me that for group number 3, if you have chosen this energy, this has something to do with you may be traveling to or relocating to a big city, mega city, okay, for your career or maybe for a relationship, something like that. Now, final card we're going to pull, it says, oh, direction west. Okay, so this direction has a lot to do with where you travel to from the perspective of where you're living now. Okay, so let's say if you live, for example, I am in Hong Kong at this moment. If you live in Hong Kong, this is about you traveling west direction, okay, west of Hong Kong. Now, I mean, literally, I mean, when we talk about Middle East and also we're talking about US, it is actually the west direction, right? And so this is actually very, very amazing energy. And of course, for you, you don't have to be in Hong Kong, but think about this thing, yeah? There's something towards the west that is actually waiting for you in the future that could be playing a very important role. And I'm also seeing this big city vibe. Okay, now of course, this does not have to be about New York or Dubai, but this could be about a city that has similar vibes, right, with these two mega cities. Very, very good. Some of you guys might even be relocated by a company, right, to some kind of Western big cities here. That could also be significant, all right, if you are employed by a big company. Now, let's have a look at while you are, doing this trip or while you're preparing for this trip in the future, what could be your energy and what could be the energy surrounding you? Okay. Thank you so much, universe. 2 cards for our pile number 3. All right. Thank you. First card, Pegasus. Wow. First of all, a lot of you guys are definitely traveling. Okay. Pegasus is also already telling me that you have this very strong sense of freedom, a spirit of freedom, right? Maybe you're already very well traveled. Maybe you want to explore the world. Nothing can really tie you down, right? In the city or in the same place for a long time. A lot of you guys choosing pile number 3, well, you are a natural traveler, right? And you are just naturally adventurous, right? You can't wait to see the world. I love this energy, all right? Next card is about your environment, okay, around you. We got Venus. Wow, beautiful. Now, one of the things actually about pile number 3 is that while you are traveling, I'm seeing that you're definitely expanding your social network very, very well. This could also be saying that through moving, you're going to meet a lot of amazing people, a lot of new friends, new social circle, right? Things like that. And also very potentially, this could also be talking about you finding love because Venus is a goddess of love. All right, at the end of the day, of course, she also represents any type of, genuine social interactions that we have, acquaintances, friends, right? Venus is also a very feminine energy, so this could also be about your relationship with the women in general. Pegasus and Venus sitting together as a pair is representing friendship, love. So I definitely see your social energy, your social network, right? Your friends circle is expanding, right? And you're going to meet a lot of amazing people when you travel or when you relocate to this new place. This is beautiful. Wow. All right. So let's have a look. This is a very straightforward energy, okay? Specifically, I would say for pile number 3, if you are relocating or traveling because maybe your company is relocating you, right? Your company is saying that, okay, do you want to be transferred to a different office? Or for those of you guys who are actually thinking, okay, I can't find jobs or success or friends in my local area, but I really feel that I can be better connected with people in a different country, then this is also saying that, yes, you are very right about that. Specifically, if that place is either to the west of where you live or it's a mega big city, right? New York, I don't know, Dubai or somewhere, right? That's there are, quite a lot of cities that are considered as that kind of top tier city filled with finance and money and commerce and trading, things like that. Okay. Now let's pull one card from our major arcana and let's see what this trip or what this general energy, right, surrounding this relocation or this trip. Thank you, universe. Let's give us some energy here. Okay. Ooh, one thing just jumped out. What is that? And we are seeing the moon. Okay. Now, this card has a lot to do with intuition. Okay. One thing that I want you to know is that while you're going through this change or this relocation or travel, initially you might have a little bit of fear. You might have a little bit doubts about should I go? Is it really good for me? I kind of want to go, but I'm a little bit scared and I don't know when this will actually happen. This energy tells you that the process could be a little bit stressful for you, or maybe you really want to go, but you have to wait for a certain result. Like what I said, if you're asking your company to relocate you, then perhaps you need to wait for the visa, you need to wait for the approval, right, from your boss or whatever that is, or from the other country's government. I'm seeing it's a little bit like in your mind, you are already ready to go. You are ready to go, but the moon energy shows that it might take a little bit time for all the information to be presented to you. Okay, so there is a little bit like that kind of energy there, but the moon in a positive way is also saying to you that if you have been feeling that's the right place for you, you really need to trust it because it is the right place for you, right? Don't use your logic to kill your intuition, okay? Now, one card from the Wisdom's Oracle, all right? So we're seeing some kind of confusion, fear in here, possibly at the initial stage. And what's the advice for you? All right. Thank you, universe. Okay, it says not for you. So what does that mean? Okay, it tells you that while you are going through this process, there are certain things that are meant for you. There are certain things that are not. One of the possibilities, and very strongly I'm feeling from this energy, is that you might go on a trip with your intention about, okay, when I go there, this is the thing that I want to do. And if I go there, I will be able to do this. But your energy is actually saying that the universe might just surprise you. Maybe the thing that you actually have planned in your mind is not going to be the one eventually you will get, but there will be something else for you. But only in hindsight, you realize that, that's actually why I needed to go on this trip, or that's the reason why I needed to relocate to this place. Not for the purely simple purpose that I had initially in my mind, because eventually it turned out that this was not the right thing for me or the right one for me. And you will realize that at a later stage, but there's something else I gained through that trip. There's something else that I gained through that relocation. And that's the reason why I have been living in here. I'll give you a very interesting example, okay? So for example, maybe you have been thinking about, okay, I really want to move to New York because everyone's telling me that the dating scene is much better than where I am. Maybe I'm gonna go there and meet amazing men, women, and I'm gonna fall in love, right? And maybe my future husband or my future wife is there, and that's why I need to go. I need to find love because I've been single for too long. And when you really move to New York, realize that actually that's a completely not the case. Maybe dating is hard, right? And then you might be feeling a little bit despondent by that. But what you actually are gaining is a complete different type of blessing from New York. Maybe New York is not able to give you a husband or wife, but New York is giving you something else. This is giving you maybe amazing career path, or maybe it's giving you an amazing friend that you will be able to keep for life. Remember what I said earlier about this energy. This energy has a lot to do with your social life, right? Your circle, or vice versa, right? This could be about maybe you're moving to, I don't know, Dubai, right, for a job. And you might be thinking, wow, this job is amazing, right? I'm going to be, this is going to be my future career. But eventually that job didn't work out. But you meet the love of your life right there, or you meet your best friend, where your future husband and wife there, and that's how it completely changed your life. So I want you guys to have this very open mind about what this trip could give to you, right? Instead of being very stubborn or very rigid, right, about this is it, right? I'm going there for this purpose, but eventually, it might give you something much bigger, much more precious than what you originally think in your mind. Thank you so much, my beautiful guru number 3. This is your reading. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like it, and share it with the people you care about. And I see you very soon in the next reading session. Bye.